to today's episode of Decentralized TV here on Brighteon.com, the free speech video platform. I'm Mike Adams, the founder of Brighteon, and joining me today, as always, is my co-host, Todd Pittner. Welcome, Todd, from Florida. How are you doing there in Florida?
I'm doing great. You could see how great I was doing. I sent you a little video of when I installed my food force for the first time.
Yeah.
And it was like nothing, right? Just a bunch of little nubs. And then I sent you an update today, 2+ years later.
It's amazing.
Wasn't it amazing? Just amazing. So I'm in Florida right now.
Are you trying to collect like a Noah's Ark animal collection too in your backyard? You've got more animals than I do on my ranch. It's crazy.
Isn't it great?
Yeah.
I mean, at any point in time, I go out there and I have deer grazing and raccoons grazing. They graze together, and then of course all the squirrels and everything. No, it's almost one of those things. It's like when you live in Denver, you don't notice the mountains anymore. It's like when you live in the Garden of Eden, you look back and you kind of don't even notice the wildlife, but it's pretty cool.
And those are hurricane surviving raccoons too.
Yeah, you got it.
They made it through. What was it, Milton?
They made it through two. But yeah, Milton was the second one that was the badass one and the one that destroyed my food forest. But my food forest came back. That's the thing. It's just,
I'm telling you, yeah,
it's better than ever. You know, it would make for a sucky hat. MFFGA, make food forest great again.
Oh, yeah, people would try different acronyms.
It would be green and not red and things like that. But anyway, great to see you, Mike. It's a pleasure. Today we have an amazing guest. Ooh,
we do have an amazing guest. Let me mention that we're going to bring him in here in just a couple of minutes. But our guest today is Matt Kim, who is the CEO and one of the co-founders of a really amazing privacy-focused VPN company called VP.net that actually structurally has verified privacy where they cannot know who you are. They cannot log your IP information. They cannot track what you're accessing. They've made it physically impossible, or I should say computationally impossible for that to happen. So like a lot of VPNs that make a lot of promises on privacy, but not really, this one's totally different. And wait till you hear about the people who formed this company, because it's 4 extraordinary individuals that are really just the who's who of privacy. So we're going to get to that.
Yes.
I can't wait to bring Matt in. He's from what I've seen, I've never met Matt before, but from what I've seen in his online videos, he's just an amazing guy. He gets it.
I've heard him, and he is an incredibly articulate, and he comes across as a regular guy who is so relatable, and everybody will see that very, very quickly. You'll witness it.
Very true. And then I want to encourage people to stay tuned after the interview, because at that point, then you're going to talk about your unincorporated nonprofit association structure that apparently is blowing up. So many people are using this and getting amazing results. You want to give us a little teaser about that?
Yeah, it's kind of crazy that we have a guest today who just evangelizes that privacy is a freedom issue. And I evangelize that financial privacy is a freedom issue. And my 575e.com that we'll talk about afterwards is my website. And that's where we offer an entity that provides true financial operational privacy. And Mike, the June 24th episode that you and I did on Decentralized.tv, the episode that celebrated our first 100 shows, we actually spoke the first 15 minutes. We talked about the Unincorporated Nonprofit Association, and there were so many people that came out of the woodwork that watched that that are now UNA operators themselves. And we were talking about that, and we're like, man, you know, we always talk about it at the end, right, during the after party. But thank you for allowing me and us to be able to speak about it at the beginning of the show too, just to tee it up. And I encourage everyone, if you do one thing, if you can only have 15 minutes to spare, go back to that June 24th episode and watch that first 15 minutes, or hang in there to the end of this show.
Okay, and I want to celebrate this with the following news item. Sorry, I was looking for it while you were talking. Here it is.
Sure.
Let's bring up my screen. Here it is. Trump slashes 25% of IRS workforce with buyouts and firings of nearly 26,000 agency staff. Yay. I mean, that was best news ever. That's from the Washington Times. So that means that there were 100,000 IRS employees terrorizing America, and now there are only 74,000 terrorizing America. So we have to be mindful of the fact that even with Trump's cuts to the federal government, these agencies are still terrorizing the American people, terrorizing small businesses, and that includes the FDA, that includes the USDA. The EPA is getting some major reforms now under Lee Zeldin. Oh, did you see that Lee Zeldin halted the regulation of the gas cans that makes it so you have to solve like a Rubik's Cube to be able to get gas out of your freaking gas can?
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know how gas can, the nozzles don't even work anymore.
They don't.
I'm like, just give me a knife and punch a hole in this thing. I mean, how do I get gas out of this freaking gas can?
It's so true. It's so true. It's crazy, Mike. But so anyway, let's get into the guest.
Yeah.
It was such a joy.
Let's do that. Okay, we're going to bring in our guest. Coming up next, Matt Kim from VP.net. All right, now, Todd, we're about to bring in our guest, Matt Kim. He is the founder, or one of the co-founders and CEO of VP.net, which is a really innovative VPN service that, as I understand it, the way it's structured, it cannot spy on you by storing your metadata and things like that. But we're going to find out with our guest today. So this is going to be fun. Welcome to the show, Matt Kim. It's great to have you on.
Oh, thank you so much, guys, for having me on. I really appreciate being here.
We appreciate you taking the time, and also what your organization has built here. At least I'm told by our mutual friend, Aaron Day, that you've got something really super special. I don't yet know the details about it. So you're going to educate myself and Todd and our audience at the same time. So the floor is yours. Give us an introduction. Why does the world need another VPN service? What's different about it?
So your traditional legacy VPN, they are all trust-based systems. So they can see your activity, they can see your data, they know what you're doing online, and you have to trust that they will never sell, share, compromise, backdoor, give up your information.
And they do.
The
courts have made them do that from time to time.
Exactly.
Yes.
So that is not actually privacy, because you're taking the privacy, or we call it privacy theater, because you're taking the information from the ISPs and the government to having all of your data, and now you're just shifting the responsibility to a random company, normally based overseas, and you are trusting that they will never compromise you. And in 2025, trusting technology companies to do the best in your best interest with your data information, that's kind of crazy. That's insane, actually. So we decided that we have to do something different. And we're really fortunate because our co-founders, who we can discuss later, have been a part of the privacy and network systems mission for decades. So what we did was we created a VPN where it is impossible for us as a VPN provider, or even if someone were to get root access into the servers themselves, cannot see your activity. If we can't see your data, if we can't see your activity, if we can't correlate your traffic, then we don't have anything to give up. We can't share it, we can't sell it, we can't compromise it, we can't backdoor it, because we ourselves don't have it. And we think that's the only way that privacy should actually work. Privacy is actually binary. You're either private or you're not.
So Matt,
if it's kind of private, that's not private.
Agreed. How is this different from the VPN services that exist right now that say they don't do any logging?
So your traditional VPN provider will say that we don't log, but that's a policy promise. So they have the information. They have the ability to see it. They're just saying, hey, we promise we won't do anything with it. And they'll say, oh, well, we don't log. Well, okay, here's an audit that we did for an arbitrary period of time. that proves that this one data center did not log. Great. What did you do 1 minute before the log? Before the audit? What did you do 1 minute after the audit? You can't prove that. It's completely trust-based. What we do is we split the user traffic and we split the user identity from where the destination is going. And the destination portion, we run it through something called a trusted execution environment. We currently use Intel SGX hardware secure enclaves currently. So basically what they are these cryptographic black boxes that you can't see inside. So we don't know where the user is going. And if we don't know, we can't share it. So that's kind of our technology and our innovation. We consider it the first real true innovation in the technology space in the last 20 years in VPN industry at least. And we think that this could be a game changer because again, why are we giving all of our traffic to foreign companies and trusting that they will never compromise you when time and time again, we've been lied to?
Yeah, and I know, Todd, you got a bunch of questions. I want to remind Todd and our audience that I read recently that a bunch of the VPN companies are owned by Israeli tech companies. Kind of interesting if they might want to spy on people and maybe leverage some of that information. Who knows? But before I allow you, Todd, because I'm always hogging the show. I apologize. And then I turn it over to Todd, and he's always got the best questions. But I guess because I have the studio, I get the right to like jam in the first couple of questions.
Absolutely.
But my last question on this is, Matt, then how do we as users know that you don't know our information? Like, how do we trust that you are doing what you just described?
So right now, what we do is we have an attestation into our client. So first off, the client will not allow you to connect to a compromised server. The next thing that we're doing on the roadmap, it should be coming up pretty soon, is that we are going to make the source available of our code that goes on inside the enclave.
Oh, wow.
So what people are going to be able to do is that they're going to be able to, if you can code, you can compile our code and you can check if your hash that you generate is the same exact hash that our enclave generates.
Wow.
And what that does is you can prove and verify in real time that you are connecting to the exact server that we tell you are. And that's why VP.net, what VP stands for is verified privacy. You should be able to verify in real time at all times that you are safe and secure. You don't have to wait for these biannual audits and say, oh yeah, this random company said we're safe. Well, that doesn't mean anything. You need to verify it all times. And that's the whole premise of what we're doing, is that you're able to verify your privacy.
Wow. Okay. Well, that fills in a lot of blanks right there. Okay, Todd. Part 2. Here we go.
I got nothing for you except, Matt, how do I buy it? How do I get involved?
I know, man. How do I sign up?
I'm done. You had me at hello, Matt. I'm like, okay, done. Hey, I do have a couple questions for you. One is, if you were the CEO of all of your competitors, what are they going to say about Matt Kim's assertions that that all the other VPN services are compromised based on trust? Well,
I'm not going to say they're compromised because running a company, I can't just blanketly say that they're all compromised. However, there are a little bit of noticing that you do. Why are the same types of companies owning all the companies? Why does for example, why is Nord, who says they're a privacy company, also do credit monitoring? That's data collection. How does that actually make any sense?
You're right.
You can't be a privacy company and also collect your data, because the problem with a lot of technology companies that I see is that they go so far off their original mission and intent. Their goal for most companies in the world currently is that they try to capture one customer, one user, and then how do we squeeze and maximize this user with things that actually are against our core belief, because they're about money, not about purpose. We consider ourselves more activist than we are a monetization company, because privacy is the number one focus. And every meeting we have, if we're presented with a monetization opportunity, the first question we all ask ourselves is, does this make our user more private or less private?
Love it.
And if the answer to that question is less private, it doesn't matter how much money it'll generate. That's completely off the book immediately number one.
That's awesome. Hey, Matt, can you do me one favor? Can you just hold up your hand like this?
What?
Yep, confirmed. I love that you have a huge middle finger to Centralized. I love that. Have you, let me ask you, have you encountered pushback either by big tech, governments, or financial institutions for offering this amazing product that promotes censorship resistance? And how do you handle the pressure?
Not yet, but I think that, my co-founders are people that have a history in building products that really push back on the status quo. So I'll give you a quick outline of who they are. Maybe that helps filling the picture together.
Beautiful.
So the person that invented the systems architecture, his name is Andrew Lee. He was the founder of private internet access.
Wow.
So private internet access is one of the largest VPNs in the world. And he was the first one to go to court to prove in a court system that he is not logging. It was considered the most private VPN in the world when he was running it. He eventually exited and sold it to one of these larger VPN companies, which is why we know how they operate. Our other partner, co-founder, is a guy named Mark Karpelès. Mark Karpelès was the CEO of Mt. Gox, the first and largest Bitcoin exchange in the world. So in 2011, he was fighting for cryptocurrency, not for, hey, when do we speculate, but how do we create cryptocurrencies so that we can trade freely without the government overreach? So this is what he built his life on. Our fourth co-founder is Roger Ver. People call him Bitcoin Jesus. He was the one of the biggest advocates for freedom in commerce and currency in the world. That's what he built his entire career on, is the fact that you have to be able to have commerce and trade freely. So this is not a group of people that are, hey, we have an idea, let's make a bunch of money, and maybe we can create a tech company out of it. No, this is a group of people that this has been our life mission for a very long time. We're fortunate that we came up with one idea that I think really works and are fully aware that there are going to be agencies throughout the world that are not going to like what we're doing, but really believe that privacy is freedom. If you don't have privacy, you don't have freedom. And it's almost like the world is trying to convince you that you don't deserve your privacy any longer. There's this famous cypherpunk quote that says, privacy is your right to selectively reveal yourself to the world. All your information, all your data, everything about you belongs to you and only you, and you should be the one that chooses and decides what you want the world to know. We're in this backwards world right now where they take all your information, all your data, and then they decide what you can share and what you're allowed to keep. That's not privacy. That's controlled permission. They control what you're allowed to keep about yourself. And that's just absolutely crazy and asinine. And people have to believe that privacy is a human right, that it belongs to you.
We believe that.
It's something that we actually have to fight for.
Absolutely. I mean, that's what this show is all about. And I've been calling for a pardon for Roger, since I first learned about his situation. He should be given an award for freedom for America. I mean, they should make him the crypto expert advisor to the Treasury, frankly. Something would be really so much better about what's happening in America. But anyway, we all love freedom. I love freedom. I'm outdoors all the time, and I'm just realizing that the three of us here on the vertical panels, we can see all three of us. Both of you guys are whiter than I am, because I'm out in the sun every day now jogging. You notice that? Look how dark I'm getting. That's insane.
This is my tan, by the way.
That's your tan? I'm a white boy in America, and I'm darker than you. How did this happen? But we love freedom. We love nature. And I agree that privacy is a natural right. It's a natural law, actually, that's being violated by our governments every single day. So what you are doing is amazing, but I got to ask, Matt, so I don't buy any VPNs with a credit card, obviously. I will only use crypto to purchase VPNs, and I will only use privacy crypto. So how do you manage that with your service right now? Or do you recommend people use like private one-time use credit cards that not attached to their names?
So currently, we do have your traditional credit card method because majority of the population actually still uses credit cards online. So we integrate with Stripe. We do accept crypto also. We are working, and it should be rolled out within the next 4 weeks, where we have a completely anonymous mode so that you don't need to use an email, so that you can use a privacy coin like Zano or Freedom Dollar, which we've been really bullish on.
Perfect.
Or Monero. And then you would get your confirmations back kind of in a payment confirmation so that you're able to log in with just a key. So we have various methods that we're working on, but the reality is that we can't correlate your information. So even if you gave us a credit card and we had an email, we can't tell anybody where you're going, what you're doing online. Use a dummy email, it doesn't matter. What we found out is that email signups are good because it helps for users and passwords and things like this. We have to make it easy for the majority of the population to use, but we are extremely privacy focused. And it's not easy to run a business that way because you have to track metrics and like where are people clicking, what's a click through, and it's really hard to do when you don't collect data. So this is a struggle that we have. You know, a lot of the marketing companies will ask us, you know, hey, where are people sticking around or who's clicking or where are they coming from? And we're like, we actually don't know. So it's really difficult to focus our marketing.
Right.
No,
because we don't collect enough data.
You need to modify. You have to say, actually, we just don't know. Cool, isn't it?
Well, I'll tell you what, Matt.
It's the good and the bad. You know, it's good because we really care about your privacy. The bad is it's easier to scale as a business the more information data you have on your customer.
That's for sure. When you get that payment gateway in place for the privacy crypto, Zano, Monero, what have you, please let me know. I'll have my producer give you my direct number because I want to. Can you maybe give us a coupon code or something that I can?
Of course.
I can share with my audience so they can save something on your service. But I want them to be able to use crypto before that happens. But let me just mention this to my producer.
And again, we do accept Bitcoin and Litecoin and Dogecoin and most of the kind of mainstream cryptos we currently do accept.
Okay.
It's the privacy option that we are working on currently.
Perfect.
Because
You don't accept,
it's more than just accepting payment. It's how do we send the key back? We're also going to integrate so that people can just give us their WireGuard key, and then we allow it so that you can just sign up with your current existing WireGuard client instead of using our client. So these are the kind of things that we're working on right now.
So currently, you don't accept XMR or Monero?
Not right now at this very moment, but I'm going to say within 2 weeks, it's something that we are working on actively.
Beautiful.
Okay, cool. Let me mention this to our audience. Show my screen, please. And this is not a sponsor or anything. This is just a company I'm aware of. That if you go to privacy.com, that what you can do is you can link it to your bank account. You can set up one-time use credit cards, virtual credit cards, and then you can make purchases with those credit cards using any fake name, any fake address you want, by the way. Ask me how I know, because I've made sure it works exactly like that. And it's not tied back to your name, anything, right? So if you need to make a purchase anywhere and you want to use a credit card, that's one way to do it. Although that company is tied to your bank account. They do an ACH out of your bank account. And I'm sure those records could be subpoenaed if you were doing something illegal, but I don't encourage illegal activity. The best way is to use true privacy coins like Monero and Zano, et cetera, and then make those purchases. So that's really exciting, Matt, that you're working on that.
Yeah, it takes a little bit of implementation. Right now, our network has been live for about 3 weeks now. So we just want to make sure we get to market. We got to test the stability of our network, make sure we don't have any issues. And now that we feel good about where we are, now we're adding kind of the privacy features I think a lot of the privacy community is really looking for.
Cool. Okay. Next question I have, and then Todd, it's your turn next. Sure. I have seen the marketing of VPNs by a lot of influencers that make outrageous promises that I know technically are not true. They say things like, oh, if you use our VPN, then all your browser activity is hidden. And I'm like, wait a second. What about all the cookies and all the Google logins that everybody has all over their browser and all their tabs? So they sign up with a VPN with their credit card, and then they have a different terminating IP, but all their Google cookies are still going right through there. They're not private at all, but they think they are. Talk about this.
Yeah, browsers are really interesting because browsers are actually another way that you get tracked. Fingerprinting on browsers is another thing. And even the privacy browsers out there, you can see how they're expanding into services that are actually anti-privacy. For example, they're doing targeting ads, they're doing AI, they are doing different types of connect to your wallet, and these are actually anti-privacy. A lot of the VPN providers will have Chrome extensions for their VPN. And actually, that doesn't do anything. It doesn't make you private. So again, this is the problem that we have with privacy companies, that they're adding features that are against the mission of privacy. What we are doing to combat that, actually, is that we intend to build our own browser, and the browser needs to connect only to our own VPN.
Wow.
Because if we had a VPN, but you're using someone else's browser, we can't say that you're being private. If you use a browser, but you don't use our VPN, then we can't say you're being private. So the actual natural progression is that we have a VPN that pairs, we have a browser that pairs directly with our VPN. And the idea is to be a fully private browser. And that will be a service that we'll offer just to our users because, again, it's not a privacy browser if you're not using our VPN. If you're using another VPN, it doesn't really work that way. So we will offer the browser specifically to our user base.
So,
well, you should integrate Enoch into that, right, Mike?
yeah, but that's our AI engine. It's currently browser-based, but we're about to release open source the GGUF files so people can download and run it locally. That's the ultimate privacy. Run it locally on your own GPU. So we're releasing that for free, but that's, I mean, thanks, Todd, for the plug. That's coming out pretty soon. But what I want to mention is that when I want to use something truly private, I have a totally different physical laptop computer that has never itself logged into Microsoft. It's never been registered. It's never logged into any service, not Google, nothing. Then there's a VPN that I've paid with privacy crypto, and then I use that computer to conduct whatever I need to do. Like if I'm writing a story about how easy it is for some terror group to build a nuclear weapon, and I need to search a search engine for what are the steps to build a nuclear weapon? Like I'm not going to do that on my regular desktop. Are you kidding me? So there are legitimate reasons, lots of legitimate reasons to use privacy in good faith. Can you speak about that issue again? Like why, you're not here to try to shield, I don't know, criminal activity or anything, to help people do important things in good faith to protect their privacy.
Well, I think it's two parts. I think one is that you do need to protect your information online because it is an issue. They are mass surveilling kind of the entire population. And there's this idea that they can have it anyway, so why do I care? But the reality is that, when they throw out this net of mass surveillance, they're just going after the low-hanging fruit. You got to make yourself as difficult as possible to be caught, and caught is maybe not the right word, but to be surveilled. I think that there is an idea that you can run away or hide from targeted attacks and targeted surveillance, and actually that's not true. There are so many ways to get into somebody. So if a government or agency decides we're going to go after one person specifically, like that's a different battle. I think the idea is just to make yourself as difficult as possible for the general population. There is this idea that I'm not doing anything illegal online anyway, so why do I care about my privacy? And the most kind of easiest analogy that I give is that if you are home and you're watching a movie and you're eating your popcorn, do you want a stranger standing at your window watching you? It's like, well, you're not doing anything illegal anyway. Like, why do you care? It's like, because it's a violation of my privacy. Exactly.
Hey, Matt.
The most private thing that you do online is it's a violation of privacy if everyone else knows.
Hey, Matt. And I don't mean to get personal, but this is what I do. When you go to the bathroom in a public restroom, do you leave the door wide open? If you do close it, Matt, I want to know what you're hiding in there. Because you must be doing something nefarious. Everybody, I'm being kind of funny here, but that's what we're talking about. And to that end, Matt, I have a question. What other privacy or decentralization tools do you personally recommend for people who want to reclaim digital sovereignty besides just using a VPN like vp.net?
Well, I think people just have to be mindful because it's different when you choose and you opt in to give up your privacy. For example, if you're using Facebook or YouTube, you're letting them know that I'm okay with you taking all my data and my activity.
Sure.
This is a separate conversation because people say, oh, Facebook knows everything anyway. Well, you chose to do that. But when you browse the internet, it's different. You never signed that agreement to just give up all your information. Right. I think people just have to be mindful. I think the example of when you were talking about Enoch AI, I think that's perfect, actually. You have to run your own language models locally. Anything that you put on the internet through a ChatGPT, that is stored, log saved, put it to your information, to your name, and one day they will use that against you. If you are searching for information that, whatever it may be, you can get subpoenaed and they can use all that information in a court of law. And the idea that people are using these kind of centralized AIs as their therapists is wild. Don't do that. People do that all the time. You tell all your deepest, darkest secrets. Don't do that. Just don't be mindful about the fact that the internet is open.
Matt, regarding Facebook and Instagram, I mean, literally, what problem do you have with cute cat videos? I mean, right.
Well, I mean, for the last year, they said, we're going to cancel and we have to delete TikTok because they are taking all of our data to overseas and to China. And if you think about it, it's like, well, who cares if you stream and scroll through some cat videos and some girls dancing? That's actually not that much information that you're giving. But we're okay with the fact that foreign companies take all of our internet and web browser history, which is significantly more private. If I know your web browser history, I know what you like to eat. I know where you're going to go on vacation. I know what your business is. I know what business you're about to get into. I know how you're trying to solve it. I know who your side chick is. I know what you're trying to buy them as a present. Yep. I know what your kinks are. I know everything about you. And we have no problem with foreign governments and foreign companies having that data, but yet another company having your doom scroll history on TikTok, that's a problem. It doesn't make any sense. And why are we protecting certain companies and certain countries and going after others? That's another question that people have to be thinking about.
Yeah. Do you see the VP.net evolving into a broader suite of tools for decentralized living, like messaging or payments, hosting? If so, what's next on your roadmap?
Well, the browser is definitely on the roadmap. Something we think about is how to anonymize your connection with AI language models also, because not everyone's going to run it locally. The reality is to run a very complex language model, you do need a lot of RAM. It's not easy to do. So how do you anonymize those connections? Actually, we filed a patent for the network anonymization with a hardware secure enclave. So this is kind of the core of our technology, and we have filed a patent on that. And if you think about it, you can use that with AI language models on a central database. That if you're making a request to a centralized AI database and you get the information back, you should still be able to get that information, but the data center that's sending the information doesn't have to know exactly who it's going to.
That's right.
And the question is, do they actually even want to know it? Because once you know it, you have to give it up. So we think this is actually solving a problem.
Matt, I'd love to talk to you about this because we can open up an API for you for our Enoch engine. And our Enoch engine, it's true. Now, it's not a reasoning engine, doesn't do complex math problems, but in terms of real world answers, it's by far the best in the world. I mean, there's just no comparison. Like the alignment, we have 100 question test on real world topics, which includes a lot of liberty and honest money, history of the Federal Reserve, things like that, but also vaccines and medicine and natural cures. Our engine is 87% out of 100 on that. ChatGPT scores 12 out of 100. And I can give you access. You can play with it. It's pretty amazing.
And what's Grok? It's like 6?
No, Grok is like 14 or something. ChatGPT and Grok are really very similar. But we had to choose, we chose Quen from Alibaba as the key, the base pillar engine. And then we heavily modified Quen with all of our data set to get our engine. But it is important that people can use AI engines privately, but also very important that AI engines are not guardrailed to death by all of these government narratives that are, how the CIA is all inside the business of open AI to try to push these CIA narratives all day long about everything from 9/11 to, pandemics. So that's also Obviously, that's a key area. But I would say if people want to use Enoch privately, they should use your service. You know?
Yeah, I mean, if you can anonymize, because as a language model, you want to be able to send the data and you want to send it to the correct person. But if you want to be a privacy company and a privacy AI, you don't want to know who you sent that data to, but you want to make sure it delivers to the right place.
Correct.
So this is really what our technology does, is that make sure that we deliver to the person that's supposed to go, but you as yourself, as the sender, doesn't know.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
So that you don't reduce their quality of life, but you still help anonymize the connection. And, so obviously we want to do for AI, and we want to do the browser, and the final iteration would actually be within a messenger. If you're using an end-to-end encrypted chat, they don't know the contents of your conversation because it's encrypted on both sides. Both sides hold the keys, but they know that you and I spoke. And in most governments around the world, the fact that two people spoke 3 times today, 1 hour the day before an action happened, those guys had a conversation, that connection is actually enough to prove conspiracy. But that doesn't have to be. You can anonymize that also. Why can't our chat be encrypted, end-to-end encrypted, and also the fact that we spoke is anonymized?
All the metadata as well. Yeah.
Bill Clinton and Epstein must be PO'd that they didn't know about your tech sooner. Wow. Hey, you know what, Mike? You can tell, right? We've had a lot of guests on, over 100. And there are certain guests that just have wonderful articulation. They're very, very clear. And Matt Kim, you are one of those. And I can understand why you also have a very popular privacy podcast called the Matt Kim Podcast. And through the Matt Kim podcast and I believe it's Free Thinker Army movement, you become a vocal advocate for independent thought. Thank you. What catalyzed your shift from entrepreneur to also becoming a freedom-focused activist?
Well, I think one of the biggest problems in this current society is that we're losing the ability to think for ourselves. We just kind of blindly accept all narratives. And the problem is that it's not the narrative being forced on us from just one side. Every side has their agenda that they're trying to force you to believe. And people are just picking a side and taking whatever they hear as their truth. And that's really dangerous because, especially with the evolution of AI, we're going to stop thinking even more at a rate that we've never seen before in our lives. I just want to encourage people to question all narratives. I want people to think for themselves. I want people to just understand that it's okay to listen to people that you may not agree with. I think the most important thing in life is that, does the person telling you something actually genuinely believe what they're saying? And if they do, it's worth the conversation because you can learn something. And I think that's what we encourage people to do. We're not right about everything. We're not wrong about a lot. Actually, my hit rate's pretty damn good, I would say. But we just want people to question all narratives, because if we don't, they're just going to take our minds away from us.
Give us a little coaching then. How do you personally vet truth in a world drowning in propaganda?
Well, I think it's really obvious. If you start asking questions and they say you can't ask about it, there's probably some truth to that.
Good point.
Yep. Yep. Well, I know, Matt, I've shared some of your videos. This is the first time that we've ever spoken, but I know I've shared many of your videos because you're very articulate on a number of critical subjects that are of interest to us here as well. So you're always welcome here. And also, Todd, I was just thinking, I got a business idea for you, Todd, that what you can do is you can sell restroom doors at the airports and you can call it VPN BM. And it's a perfect, how can you go wrong? You can sell privacy.
I need the airports first to install the all clear acrylic doors first.
Yeah, right. The acrylic doors.
And I think just because I'm budget conscious, I think we'll install these little roll down shades that people can rent. How about that?
Well, in Japan, they have glass cubicle restrooms that when you put in the money, then they turn opaque.
You're kidding me.
Electronically. Yeah. So you can take a dump for free and everybody can see, or you can pay the fee and have some privacy. Yes.
You just explained Bitcoin versus Monero.
That's true. Yeah. And Japan nails that. Okay.
Yes.
Well, so we all agree that privacy is absolutely critical. But we've also seen, for example, the founder of Telegram being arrested in France and forcing him to give up, I don't know, details about certain accounts and so on. And this kind of gets to the earlier question that Todd asked you. If your service is more and more effective, how do you insulate yourself from the very common threats that happen when they show up and say, look, we'll either prosecute you or you can give us backdoors? Because that happens every day.
For the Telegram situation, he has the IP addresses of the users.
True.
So he knows who the people are. And this is the problem, right? Because he gave the information to certain agencies and certain governments and then chose not to give to others. It became a policy choice of him that I'm not going to give up the information. And they're like, well, you have to because you have it. That's exactly why we designed the way we did. We don't have it. You can subpoena me all day long. I don't have it to give you. And if we change even the smallest amount of code in the enclave, we can't connect. Our entire network will go bad, or that server would just go out of rotation. These are all problems. These are all things that we've thought about in anticipation and why we built it the way that we did.
Wow.
So will they come and try to force us to change? It's possible. But at the same time, our network would fail and we'd be out of business. And in the United States, we say that they force you to do things, but they can't just put you out of business just arbitrarily. There are rules and processes and there is law around that. So we try to follow the law to the best of our ability and take advantage of it in which way we do. We don't break the law. What we're doing and the technology that we created is not illegal. The only way to make it illegal would be that they would have to pass a law that says here in the United States, data centers and privacy companies are required to collect their user information and their traffic and activity. And that's a bigger problem, actually. If some government or some administration decided that they're going to make that stand, I don't know if they make it through. Because I really believe that America will fight back on something that draconian. So we have to have a little faith in the American public that they will fight back and push back against something like that if it were to ever happen. But that's the only way that would work, is that they would have to forcefully create laws in order to make it illegal for us to do what we do.
Wow. Well, I'm sure they're working on an attempt at that. But I want to bring up something else, another reason why people need VPNs that are truly private, like yours. Again, vp.net is the website, everybody. And there you can join up and start using it right now. But as people purchase more and more robots, to have robots in their homes or robots in their gardens or robots in their warehouses, in every case that I've seen, those robots are tied to the cloud in some way, which means, and all those robots have cameras and microphones. They're watching and listening, just like Alexa and the Google and the doorbells and everything. It's all listening to everything that you do all the time. It's uploading that to the cloud. Robots are going to be even worse because they're going to walk around your house because you want them to do your laundry, right? But they're going to be walking through all your rooms, like taking video and uploading that. There's a privacy problem, right? I mean, I don't know about you guys. I don't want Terminators walking through my house and cataloging all my rifles that I have on the wall. I mean, no thanks. What do you say?
I think the most privacy conscious people will start running, just like you're running language models locally, you'd be hosting the robots locally and that data locally. I mean, that's the best solution, is that you create your own intranetwork for yourself and your home. I think a lot of people are shifting that direction, but the majority of people, they don't. I've been thinking about this robot thing a lot, and total sidebar. But if you think about it, I believe that the next generation, the social issue of the next generation will be rights for robots.
I agree with you. Please.
Because the idea of robots and anytime they come with technology is the entire industry evolves on how to humanize that robot more. They're going to put skin on it. They're going to make it sound like a person. They're going to have it raise your children, read its storybooks, cook its dinner. And one day, one of these kids could become 18 years old, 17 years old. The mom or dad could say, we're going to take R2D2 offline. And the kids could say, you can't, because I love him. And then all of a sudden, we're in this crazy dystopian world of fighting for human rights for robots. And I think that's a huge problem. I really do believe that that's going to be the next big social issue of the next generation. And people say, no, that's crazy. That can't ever happen. I didn't think we'd be having this argument about is a guy a girl and a girl a guy. I think if you asked the previous generation, they would have said, that's crazy.
And Matt,
here we are.
You referenced earlier the fact that there's so many young people now who are using AI as their therapist. What's the difference? I mean, if they are buying into that and they're personifying, code, right? You are so right. That is going to absolutely be something of the future.
The key pivotal moment, I've thought about this a lot too, Matt. The pivotal moment is when robots either achieve sentience or achieve the simulation of sentience that's so convincing that humans believe they are sentient. And then at that point, you're going to have an abolition movement for robots, because you're going to say, you can't treat them like slaves. You want the robot to fold your laundry? Maybe the robot doesn't want to fold your laundry today. And then on top of that, guess what comes next? Voting rights for robots. Which of course means that they don't need the rest of us at all. Because think about the political parties. Why do they need so many people around? They need them to count on the census. They need to have the redistricting and have the apportionment based on the people. Well, if the robots count, they don't need the people. Goodbye. Then the robots exterminate the people, replace the people, and then we vote now, motherfuckers. That's how it's going to work. Sorry about the language there.
So, Matt, I just want to offer something up for you as a privacy entrepreneur. As Mike and I talked about at the beginning of the show, I help people with financial privacy in a decentralized way with these unincorporated nonprofit associations. And in my private Telegram group that I offer to all of the operators, we have lots of templates. And I'm sure if I dig deep enough, I can find a privacy entrepreneur template. And I'm just giving this to you right now as an idea, to where you could literally write and have notarized, I, Matt Kim, will never shoot myself in the back of the head at 200 meters. Just saying.
The thing about technology is that when you invent something new, if they shut us down, it actually doesn't matter, because the idea is out there in the world, and someone else will do it, and someone else will do it, and someone else will do it. And it's going to be whack-a-mole. So it's out there. It's like cryptocurrency. Yeah. They try to shut down Bitcoin, and they try to make it into what they wanted to be, which was supposed to be free trade for the world. And it became this kind of store of value slash, when Moon, when Lambo, right? But that's not what the purpose was. It was supposed to be a freedom tool.
Yeah, it's a exchanging value privately, right?
Yeah,
supposed to be.
And they may have changed the narrative on what Bitcoin is currently, but projects like Zeno, like Monero, they exist. You can't stop those anymore.
That's
because
right.
the technology was put out into the world. And that's what we feel actually about what we're doing, is that they may one day try to shut us down. But even if they do, the idea now exists. You can route network traffic without having to know who and where they're going. And now that people, and probably much smarter people than me, know that this idea exists, I'm really excited to see what they're going to do with that idea.
Beautiful.
And you can't ban math, right? So this is one of the key issues. When people were asking me 2 years ago, aren't you afraid they're going to come ban your language model that you're releasing on Hugging Face? I'm like, it's really just linear algebra, just magnified with a lot of compute. You can't ban math. The White House just put out this AI report. Like, we're gonna ban China from all this technology. I'm like, dude, China doesn't want your crappy AI. China's already winning. Why do they want your? Yeah. It's the narrow-mindedness right now of so many politicians is just shocking. Like, they think they can control everything. No, you've already lost control. Decentralization is winning big time, and it's due in part to companies like yours, Matt. So I really want to thank you for what you're doing. This is a big deal. I love it.
Yeah, I think people need to be aware of what's going on. I think people give the government too much credit. They think that they're so good at what they do, but let's be real. What do they actually do well other than spending money?
Taking money.
and taking your money. Well, they don't even do that well. The IRS is not that good at their job, right? The Postal Service, you pay them; they're not that good at their job. All they're good at is wasteful spending. And as far as trying to do it, they just try to steal people technologies and implement it and say that they're really good at it. But the reality is they're not.
They're not.
So I think people need to know that the power is still in the control of the people, and don't lose hope, because I think too many people are giving up right now.
Amen. Beautiful. So, Matt, what advice would you give our viewers who want to take control of their online privacy and contribute to the decentralization movement that you have started? And how can they get started with VP.net and the Freethinker Army?
Well, VP.net, just go to VP.net, sign up for an account, and get started right away. It works on your mobile device, on iOS, Android, Mac, Linux, Windows. So definitely go do that.
What is the cost, if you don't mind?
Here it is. It's on the screen.
$10 a month, $100 a year, $200 for 3 years. So it's not unaffordable. We think it's really affordable. Our cost for servers and to run it this way is higher than your traditional VPN. So keep that in mind. But again, we're a privacy company, not a try to make sure that you can watch Netflix from everywhere, all over the world, all times company.
Exactly.
Although you can watch Netflix, but privacy is our number one goal.
Beautiful.
As far as what you can do to protect yourself, I think people need to be mindful and consider that privacy is not a quality of life issue, that actually it's a freedom issue. And if you know that to be true, then you have to support the projects that actually believe in it. So if it's the Decentralized project, if it is a privacy company, if it is different AIs that are trying to do it in an uncensored way, you have to support these companies, because the cards are in the favor of the centralized companies that their goal is to monetize you and extract value. Mm-hmm. I believe that a company, and a really good company, should be a company that gives value to their customer, not takes value. So if you run into a company that gives value and puts their focus and their goal on helping its users and its customers, support those companies. Share them, let them know, because as you guys know, getting your word and message out there into the world, it's not easy. You're fighting against multi-trillion-dollar corporations that have unlimited money to burn. And you're the engine that could try to fight this battle by yourself. We have to support each other.
Mm-hmm.
100%. Vote with your dollars. Vote for the future that you want to create with your dollars. And your service isn't very expensive at all, especially considering the benefits that you've already described. I just want to encourage everybody to sign up and use your service, vp.net. Again, if you'd like to give us some kind of a discount code at some point, then I'll do additional plugs for you at no cost,
I would love to give you a vp.net/ whatever you kind of want custom link to be. Make it just Ranger, because that's the code I use for a lot of my stuff. Ranger. Yeah.
Just vp.net/Ranger would be great. We'll give that out to people. We'll list it.
I just want to tell everybody, I did the math real quick. So if you invest in the $200 for 3 years, that's 18 cents a day. What do you do to blow 18 cents an hour? You know what I mean?
Right.
It breaks down to like $5.50 a month. It's not a huge cost in order to protect your privacy and support a mission. We are a technology company, but we're really activists. We care about privacy. We think privacy is freedom. And I think more people really need to take ownership of that idea.
But Matt, I want to know best practices for the customers. So once they sign up, then when they begin to engage in web browsing, do you recommend that they launch like a privacy mode version or a whole new browser? You don't have your browser yet, but
I think the best practice is to, after you launch a VPN, open up fresh browsers. Once you do a search on one browser, then close that browser and open up another browser as a fresh browser and start again. And then once you're done with your session, close that browser and start a new session. You don't want people to track you over time, even if you are using a VPN, because they can fingerprint you. You have to confuse the system a little bit. I do use Brave as a privacy browser, but I strip out all the features that they have. So I still use it, but I remove and I disable kind of every single thing that there is. And don't trust that just because you're using a incognito mode or private mode on your mainstream browser that's doing anything. All that's doing is hiding your history from your loved ones. But from the ISP side, it's no different. It looks the same to them.
Uh-huh, right.
Yeah. So the only people that you're hiding your information from is the people around you. You're hiding your information from the wrong side.
That's funny. Yeah.
That's beautiful.
Then again, the issue is that very few people really understand how the multiple ways they are tracked. It's not just IP address, it's also cookies. And then there are other, cross-domain factors that can also be tracked in certain ways as well. So it's absolutely critical to segment your activity as much as possible. So another piece of advice that I would offer is if you use a computer for your personal life, don't use that same computer for your business life. Because I don't know what people's personal lives are like, but I bet there are people listening who don't want their business people to know about their personal stuff that's going. Maybe they went to a furry conference or whatever, dressed up like a bunny rabbit, humping a Volkswagen or whatever. Like, no, we don't want the boss to know about this. Look what just happened at that concert. The couple got busted having an affair or whatever. But segment your life out. And if you do attend furry conferences, have a standalone laptop just for the furries. I always use that as an example because it's just so hilarious to me. But I don't care if people dress up. I don't care. Do whatever you want. Just be mindful.
Just because you're alone doesn't mean you're private. And I think people need to know that.
It's another good one. You're full of them, man. Mike, this has been one of my favorite interviews ever.
It's awesome. We got to have Matt back.
Yeah, we do.
Anytime.
All right.
You're awesome.
Well, Matt, is there anything else you want to add before we wrap this up?
No, think for yourself. Take care of your family. Take care of your loved ones, and support the channels and the shows and the people online that you believe in, because it's not easy to grow online. It's not easy to have a platform. And the best thing you can do is if you appreciate an episode or you appreciate a host that you're watching online, like share their content. Call your friend. A warm transfer is always better than a cold transfer. So call your buddy and say, hey, check out this show. It's amazing. And that's the best thing you can do to support the mission.
Yeah.
Absolutely. In fact, Matt, I'd love to invite you back on my regular show, my Brighteon show, separate from Decentralized TV. We'll also invite you back. Once you launch the privacy crypto payment system, then we'll invite you back on to this show as well. And
Perfect.
We could demo that, because I could bring it up on my laptop. We could just walk people through it. How about that?
That's amazing.
Let's do that. Okay. All right. Very cool. Well, thank you, Matt. Thank you so much for your time, and say hello to all your co-founders. We love your work. We love your attitude. We're right there with you. You're all welcome on Brighteon at any time, and keep in touch with us about maybe you can leverage our AI technology that we're also continuing to build out in some interesting ways as well. So it's going to be awesome. Wow. Great show. And thank you, Todd, for all your amazing questions and research. This has been a lot of fun.
You're welcome. Thanks, guys.
All right. Take care, Matt. And for all of you watching, we'll be back right after this break with the after party discussion. And until then, go to vp.net, sign up. And I think Matt's going to put in place vp.net/Ranger. And we'll just distribute that as a discount code, and you can use that. And we don't get paid or anything. We're just offering that to help promote the service. That's all. So check it out, and thank you for watching. We'll be right back after this short break. Join the official discussion channel for this show on Telegram at t.me/Decentralized TV, where you can ask questions or offer suggestions of who we should interview next. Also be sure to subscribe to the email newsletter on Decentralized.tv, where you'll be alerted about 1 day in advance of each new upcoming episode, before it gets published. On Decentralized.tv, you'll also find links to our video channels and social media channels across all platforms, including Brighteon, Rumble, BitChute, Twitter, Truth Social, and more. Check it all out at Decentralized.tv. All right, welcome back, folks. This is the after party, and sorry for all my sick, twisted humor during the interview. I'm glad that Matt Kim has a sense of humor. He didn't stand up and walk away from the interview. You guys are sick. You're twisted. No, he was cool. But what a great guest, right?
Yeah, we're going to have him on again. and he offered it. Boy, I really want to have some of his partners on as well.
Yeah, definitely. I want to have his partners on. And you know what's really cool about being named Matt Kim is that everybody can spell your name. Like I interviewed Colonel Douglas McGregor, and he was telling me how people have trouble spelling McGregor for some reason.
Forget the Colonel part.
Yeah, the Colonel. Yeah, forget. But if your name is Matt Kim, pretty much everybody's got that.
Yeah, I think so. I think so. MATKEM.
Yeah, you got it. Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, give or take. You know. Yeah. I did. By the way, I used an API of a large language model that was advertised as being really, really fast, extremely fast, and like its output was blazing. And I was testing it out for some of our data prep, and I found out that all the output was filled with misspellings.
Wow.
Because they were using like a 2-bit model or something, which made it blazing fast, but completely inaccurate.
Amazing.
So if you want fast, you can have fast. It just is filled with typos everywhere.
Yeah. So note to self, if you are not that creative, but you really want to write that special girl in your life a love letter, don't use that.
She'll think you have an IQ of like 60. Something.
An IQ of a Democrat. Sorry.
Yeah, no, of a Supreme Court justice from the Democrat. Go. Yeah. Okay. I think the combined IQ of all the Democrats on the Supreme Court is about 100. That's the sum.
Yeah.
But okay, never. We don't want to make this too political. No. All right. Too late. Okay, so our guest was amazing. The service that he was talking about was also really intriguing.
18 cents, Mike, a day. Come on.
Yeah, it's like nothing, right?
It's nothing.
Yeah, the cost is nothing. It's really just a question of, how easy is it to use? Because there's no reason not to use it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm downloading it right after we get off.
I'm going to start using it too. Yeah, right away. But what do you think about the vision of VP.net? Like the fact that they want to roll out a browser, that was a big surprise to me. That's not a small thing.
Wow. That was a wow.
Yeah.
I think it's fantastic. I mean, you and I have from day one been talking about decentralization, thus the name of the show, right?
Right.
Decentralized TV. And we are all about human freedom. And to hear him talk about privacy is a human freedom issue, just really resonated with us.
That's right.
I mean, it's right down the middle of the fairway of this show. And so I admire their vision. I admire their resolve. And I admire the fact that, and we heard just, afterwards, he was talking about Andrew Lee with private internet access. He sold the company, but he walked away from, what was it, like maybe $100 million? More, over $100 million, because he would not buy into the fact that they wanted to call it privateinternet.com or something like this. I can't quite remember.
No, it was because they did not adhere to his philosophy on privacy.
His principles of privacy.
Right. Right. Yeah. So if you stick to your principles in this world today, it can cost you hundreds of millions of dollars in profits. But if you're willing to compromise your principles, the sky's the limit of how much you can make or take or grift off the system. And sadly, that's the way most people operate. They don't have principles. They're just out for profit. Or look, I think, and I didn't want to mention this when Matt was on, but I am certain that many of these VPNs are blackmail operations.
They have to be. Sure, Mike.
It's like Epstein light. What they're doing is they're monitoring if important people are using the VPN, like a senator, or a congressperson or a governor, whatever, or somebody in the State Department, somebody in the Pentagon, whatever, and they catch them like logging into a porn site or something, right? And then they contact them and say, "Oh, we got all your porn history and all your searches for your porn." Which would be very interesting for certain.
And the congressman says, well, that naked Brazilian midget tossing test was research.
What? Where'd you come up with that? That's insane.
I just made it up.
Is that from Senator Lindsey Graham's browser history? Is that where you got that?
Exactly.
Because I'm wondering, like, what kind of weird perversions are these people into in Washington, D.C. that are the power brokers of our country? And why do they all have, and I don't mean to make this political, but again, too late, why do they all have Israeli flags posted outside their offices in Congress? You know, in the Capitol building, they have Israeli flags. Like, this is America. Post the American flag, for God's sake. Post the flag of your state if you want.
I don't know, Mike.
But not another country.
It's such a puzzle.
Yeah, I think it's all connected.
The United States of Israel.
It's all connected. So I think it's a blackmail operation for a lot of people.
Yeah.
Now, if you're some unknown average Joe using an Israeli-run VPN and you're into weird, freaky porn or whatever, nobody cares because you don't control the Pentagon.
That's right.
Nobody cares.
Yeah.
Do your own freak off or whatever. Nobody cares. But if you're an important person, that's different.
Yeah. And I think that they probably mine early politicians and they get the goods, right? And then they expose it to them and give them the choice. You go down this path.
Exactly.
Do as much of that as possible. As a matter of fact, we'll invite you to some islands to where we'll talk about fun, right?
Oh, God.
But if they don't, then they're going to get destroyed. And so I think that that's why you see the Lindsey Grahams of the world. They were compromised when they were, I think, 2.5 years old. And
clearly.
Yeah.
And Randy Fine, Congressman Randy Fine, who has apparently eaten more food than any 100 Gazan children combined. I mean, the guy, and he tells them it's okay for them to starve while he weighs 300 pounds.
Yeah.
It's really sickening at a basic humanity kind of level. Yeah.
Well, he may have eaten a child or two himself too.
Now you just took us down a dark rabbit hole into Pizzagate and everything. Let's not go there.
Okay, we won't.
Okay, all right. Like pedo cannibalism. No, that's not allowed on the show.
But if it were allowed, it would happen in the after party. I'm just saying.
Are you saying they eat sandwiches made with pedo pan peanut butter? Is that what you're saying? Sorry. Oh, please, God, save us from this topic. Matt Kim is never going to come back on the show now. It's going to be like, you guys went insane when I left.
Oh, that's
it's like we had the courtesy to wait for you to leave the show before we went insane.
That's right.
That's our protocol.
Anyway, Matt Kim was.
We apologize. We apologize to Matt Kim.
Yes,
for sure.
But we want you back.
Please forgive us for this topic. Okay, let's reset. Let's move on.
Control Alt Delete, Mike.
Let me switch gears. The other way that people are compromised with blackmail VPNs is their financial transactions, right? Yes. So if you're logged into your VPN and you're a senator or whatever, and you're logging into your favorite crypto exchange to get your payoff from the Ukrainian money bribery fraud skimming kickback scheme, right? Because that's how they all get paid.
Sponsored by the Biden administration. Yep.
Yeah, right. And Trump just initiated another like 150 billion for Ukraine. Yeah, it's not going to any weapons. No, it's all kickbacks to. So the VPN has that information too.
Yeah, it does.
So they know about your financial grift.
Yep. Easy.
That might be more damaging to some senators than their freaky porn habits or whatever.
Or it can be
financial stuff.
Yeah, both and.
Yeah,
I think
it could be both. Okay, the other thing that happens is that the family members of senators get compromised, right? So, like a daughter or a son of a senator.
Right.
Like this is like classic Hunter Biden behavior, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Like his dad's like, "What did you do?" Well, I have this laptop, Dad. Fortunately, the FBI just buried it. But a lot of sons and daughters of senators can themselves get into all kinds of weird illegal type of behavior. And then that can be picked up by a blackmail VPN. And then they take that to the senator and say, you don't want your son to go to jail now.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly. And these Druid Babylonian bastards prey on that, right?
Totally.
They know that's a viable strategy. And so they work that angle hard too.
I say blackmail is the currency of politics.
Ooh, I like that.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's not even a privacy currency. It's
right. It's an open ledger.
Yeah, that's right.
Seriously.
Blackmail is the currency of politics.
This is the surveillance blockchain.
Right.
Blackmail.
Right. So the bottom line is, folks, now we know, I mean, our audience, you're not sick, twisted pervs like the senators and the whatever in Congress. But you have a right to privacy too, because you also don't want people hacking in and spying in on your financial transactions, right?
Yes.
Or maybe you just want to buy gold online. Right?
Yeah.
And you don't want the government to know how much gold you have, right? I mean, I don't want the government to know gold, silver, gold backs, or crypto.
I just have to ask a question.
What?
What gold?
Yeah. What gold? Yeah. Got lost in the floods in 2017.
Self custody, folks.
Yeah, exactly. So there are all kinds of legitimate reasons to need to use privacy and have real guaranteed confirmed privacy.
Yeah.
Right. Hey, did he say, we forgot to ask him, does his service work on mobile devices? I don't know why it wouldn't.
Yeah. He said yes.
Oh, he did say that. Okay. I missed that.
Yep.
Okay. That's great.
He said you could get the service for your phone.
Okay. Perfect. So I
Memory
assume
serve.
there's downloadable apps for it.
Yeah, probably.
Okay. iPhone and
Sure.
Google. Yeah. But of course, we encourage you to use a de-Googled phone in the first place, which is what I do.
Yep.
Yeah. It's really, really good tech for all of that. Okay. All right. So what have I left out here, Todd? What have we not covered? What bizarre corner of this have we not ventured into yet?
Mike, I don't know. You know me. I do want, my form of activism is helping people keep more of what they earn.
Yes.
So I would like to touch on that.
Okay, we'll get to that in a second. But okay, one more thing.
Yes.
I beg your patience on this.
No, please.
But in the context of what we've learned about everybody today with the Epstein files and everything, do you remember how big of a scandal it was during the Clinton administration when it was said that Monica Lewinsky and Bill Clinton did something in the Oval Office? Do you realize what a nothing burger that is by today's standards? It's like, who cares?
It's ridiculous when you think about it.
Yeah.
It was poor judgment, but
yeah, of course it was. But
it is like so junior varsity
totally
in comparison to what these schmucks get away with today.
Absolutely. In retrospect, the fact that was blown up by the Republicans to say, well, it's immoral.
Right.
And like, talk about morality. The whole GOP just voted to not release the Epstein files.
Yeah.
Just like every one of them voted.
Yeah.
Okay. I just had to mention that.
Yep. You're right.
It's like, I'm not a fan of Bill Clinton, don't get me wrong, but I don't care what he did with Monica.
Yeah.
I really don't care.
Well, at least there was a cigar involved. I like
We
cigars.
will never forget the blue dress, the cigar, whatever. Yeah, I know it's been all kinds of decades of fun memes, but by today's standards, it doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. Okay. Well, he wasn't using a VPN.
No, he wasn't.
Nor was Monica. Maybe they could have used a VPN.
Yeah.
But I don't think they even existed at that time. So, all right.
.net.
So let me ask you about the UNA thing.
Yes, sir.
I shouldn't just call it a thing. This is a very valuable tool that lots of people have used, but I've been wondering, just thinking about this before the show today, like if someone were to ask me a question, like why should I initiate a UNA, unincorporated nonprofit association that you offer? I have your website here, my575e.com. Why? What's
I'll give you,
Yeah.
I can give you 6 reasons off the top of my head.
Okay.
The reason why you should acquire a UNA, a lawful entity that's created by the Secretary of State of California, and it is recognized by the Internal Revenue Service.
Okay.
It is, if you are a W-2 earner, you should be interested. If you are a 1099 earner, you should be interested. If you operate an LLC, you must at least investigate. If you own property, it is a no-brainer.
Wow.
If you trade in crypto,
yeah.
would be foolish not to investigate the UNA. And if you have children, you should investigate the UNA, Unincorporated Nonprofit Association.
Okay, hold on.
Yes.
I apologize. Before you go on, did you see that the DOJ dropped the prosecution of the Kraken founder?
Yes.
Yes.
That was beautiful.
That's awesome.
It was great. The war is off of crypto right now.
That's all, because we love Kraken.
We love Kraken. We love Kraken. As a matter of fact, those of you who are in crypto, I have a specific strategy of being able to off-ramp your crypto with major tax advantages by using your UNA and Kraken.
So this is critical. So everybody watching, if you own crypto and if you ever think you might want to trade it or sell it, there are tax consequences in your name if it's held in your name.
Yes.
But what you can do is get a UNA through Todd's service here. And then that UNA, which is not you, can open an account on Kraken and hold and trade crypto inside a nonprofit.
And I have the cheat, I call it the cheat sheet, but when people acquire a UNA, Mike, as you know, they get invited to my private Telegram group. There's well over 200 people in there now. And what's cool is I have what's called a UNA Biz directory. It's like a digital ebook. And so if you are interested in crypto, you just go to the crypto section, you click on it, and it will launch all of the pinned messages that I have found important for people within the group to know. And it includes a Kraken cheat sheet, meaning we know all of the questions that they're going to ask to open up your UNA with its EIN number. And we have carefully created the Q&A. So we show you, I showed the answers that I use, and Dennis and I took 6 weeks for me to be able to open my UNA. It was a long time.
Yeah.
And it still takes a long time because they have their QA people going back and forth. But usually about 5 to 6 weeks, you'll be able to get it. But the guide, the cheat sheet is invaluable in doing that. And it really, really provides a great amount of comfort and confidence knowing that you're giving them the right answers. So there's kind of, and if somebody wants to donate their property, there's templates on how to quit claim deed. If somebody is a W-2 earner, we walk you through how you can donate 60% of your adjusted gross income and be able to take that off of your basis so you're only paying on 40% of what you would have paid on 60%. If you're a 1099 earner, boy, I don't even want to talk about that on air, the benefits that can happen. If you operate an LLC, you can make the UNA the managing member of your LLC, where those profits flow through to the UNA. So it lowers your personal income to, in many cases, zero. But other things happen within the LLC.
And guess what? You can use VP.net to go deal with Kraken. Like you can use a
100%.
VPN layer to anonymize all your interactions with Kraken or a bank, a bank login or anything.
You should believe me. I will be using VP.net for anything related to crypto selling, buying, everything. And lastly, I talked about children, Mike, being able to do things like donate your property. And then when we pass, right, and you have the right transfer on death documentation, which I provide to everybody. I've spent 5 months and thousands of dollars in attorney's fees, and I've had them vetted by 2 major banks.
Wow, cool.
you get that just as being part of this, right?
Wow.
Part of this tribe, right? Last show we said, find your tribe. This is a wonderful tribe. But if you have children, man, talk about helping them avoid all the BS, the probate.
Oh,
You
yeah.
are able to hand down your home to your progeny. And if they decide to sell it, there will not be any capital gains taxes. So that's playing long ball, Mike.
Whoa. Wait, so Trump just said, I think Trump said he wants to eliminate capital gains taxes on home sales, but that's not the case yet.
Well,
And as a
Trump
result,
also is going to demolish. Wait, what's the word? I'm having
it's either abolish or demolish. It's one or the other.
Abolish. I just made up a new term. It's a Trumpism. I'm going to demolish the IRS.
I love it. That's even better than Kafifi. I love it.
Yeah. So he's going to demolish the IRS. Good luck with that, guys. I mean, come on. We can't, it's a, excuse my language, but it's a shitty business strategy to count on political maybes. Right?
Absolutely. Yeah.
But this is just, you want to be able to protect your personal property too. Oh, let me tell you two things. You donate your property to a UNA and then things happen in life, right, Mike? If you ever file bankruptcy, that home is not considered yours. It's the UNA, so you don't have to declare that as a personal asset. That's one. Now, if you're older, and I just helped a couple this week be able to donate their home to their new UNA. They are an older couple, and they're worried about they're coming into that point in life to where they're worried about if they get admitted to a home, right? And if the bills get to be so crazy that they're going to go back after their personal home property and sue them to be able to pay their bills. And they're doing it all the time. This is amazing senior theft.
So this is an asset protection vehicle.
Amazing asset.
It helps to segment your assets into different entities that are not tied to your social security number,
Bingo.
that are not owned by you. And it's a perfectly legal vehicle recognized by the Secretary of State of the state of California, but available to all Americans.
To all tax-paying Americans, that's right.
Okay, but not people in Canada.
Not people in Canada or Australia. I've had so many people inquire, and I'm sorry, everybody. I wish it were otherwise. But yeah, this thing is. I always tell people, hey, find one use case, right? I just gave you 6. Find one use case. Kidding. And these things are very accessible. I'm not minimizing the investment costs, but I'm telling you, Mike, they can pay for themselves like in months with the advantages that you get. So now, anybody who is like a lot of people, and you're like, I don't know. Do me a favor. Just go to my575e.com and book a private consultation with me. It's $150, but you get it back when you move forward with a UNA. And frankly, most people do who book a consultation. It's probably 9 out of 10 people do, Mike.
Yeah.
But as I've shared before, if I don't charge anything, and I used to not, 7 out of 10 people don't show up for it. It's just crazy.
Okay. All right.
But thanks for asking that question, Mike, because this is my form of activism. Nelson Rockefeller coined the phrase, own nothing, control everything. This is what he was talking about, folks. They've been doing it a long time.
I also think it's just really critical for people who have metals. If you have metals, especially if they're vaulted somewhere else, where they're on the books somewhere, you need the vaulting entity, the ownership entity, to be segmented from your personal social security number, identity, et cetera. That's a layer of privacy and protection.
Yeah. And what people are doing, Mike, is they're acquiring a UNA, then they're getting their EIN UNA set up with the same company where they have their gold, the vaulting company.
Yeah.
And then they are donating. They're donating their gold to the UNA. And that very easily now disassociates it from their social security number cells.
Wow. Wow. Okay. Well, that's really cool to know. Okay. So the website that you have for people, again, is my575e.com, which actually refers to the California law that describes this, correct?
It refers to the designation provided by the Internal Revenue Service.
Oh, the internal,
how
okay.
they have a 501c3 or whatever, right? This is a CP 575E. And I will tell all of you out there, if you decide that you're going to consult your Lord and Savior, ChatGPT, I'm just telling you, when you start entering in the information, it's going to come back. And I always tell people, yeah, it's kind of like they don't want you knowing about it.
Yeah.
So it's caveat emptor when you start.
It's like it's all been scrubbed from the internet.
Yeah, it's you did your research, Mike.
Totally.
It's hard, but no, this is lawful, and man, it's so effective. And the tribe that's being created, just it's been organic, Mike. The couple of hundred plus people who are in there right now, man, it is just so fun. Everybody's helping each other,
cool.
and yeah. So thank you.
Okay, that's very important for people to check out. Now, I just want to mention for my plug is my online store, healthrangerstore.com. And if you go there, then you can see all of the amazing high density nutrition products that we offer, hundreds of products from preparedness. Look at these categories: pantry staples, personal care, supplements. We manufacture most of these ourselves in our Texas facility that you've seen, Todd. You've actually toured it.
Yep, I've been there. What an amazing manufacturing facility.
Oh, wait till you come back, because we're building a new expanded laboratory here.
Can't
also,
wait
that when we get all our mass spec instruments moved over there, man, it's going to be something to see. But our products are laboratory tested, like I said, for heavy metals, glyphosate, E. coli, salmonella, more than that even, just to make sure it's perfectly safe. And then almost everything we sell is certified organic. And we don't use any artificial fragrances or colors or fillers or garbage like that ever. We just don't formulate with any of that stuff. So if you want the world's cleanest food, and we also just donated about $95,000 worth of food to the Texas flood victims, but $70K of that was raised by our customers, so thank you for that. But we give back to the community. We donated to Florida, we donated to North Carolina, et cetera, and California from the fires. But if you want products that are clean and that are very healthy, that are high nutrient density, and you want to help support us and support what we do, support our platform for liberty, then shop at healthrangerstore.com. And you can see all these categories: supplements, preparedness, personal care, all kinds of things. We've got specials. We've got new products. Oh, I shouldn't even mention this: freeze-dried tart cherries, because I forgot to order them myself, and I'm afraid they're going to be sold out. I need to order the cherries before they're gone. A lot of times it's hard to get these items,
Wow.
Like they'll be sold out for 6 months. And then
I'm curious, Mike.
Yeah.
When you take a look at your, weekly eating schedule, how much of your own store's products are you consuming throughout the day? Like, what percentage do you include something? And I think I know you. Well, I think I know the answer, but I just wanted to ask. I'm curious.
Well, okay. So like my smoothie from this morning, right? This smoothie, it's got a ton of our own products in it: our whey protein, our broccoli sprouts, our turmeric powder, and some tinctures too. Some of the tinctures that we sell, I drop them in there. So that's every day. And then I'll often make like a quinoa meal. And of course I'm using our quinoa, or I'm using our beans or legumes, etc. So the only time that I'm not eating our products is when I'm eating meats, because we don't sell meat.
Yeah.
So I don't know, about maybe 3 or 4 times a year, I'll go out and have Texas barbecue.
Okay.
And I'll let my body tell me, is like, if all of a sudden I'm like, I got to have some ribs or something,
right?
Then I listen to that. and it only happens a few times a year. But when it happens, you can't deny the rib craving.
No.
So it's like,
Otherwise, your internal middle finger is going to come out
yeah, that's right.
at you.
I just figure because I'm doing so much jogging and I'm doing so much kettlebells, I'm actually getting in the best shape of my life. Again, I'm not quite there, but I'm getting there, and I'm needing like more protein now than ever before.
Okay.
But I'm also using our MSM and magnesium and things like that are good for joints and ligaments, and our collagen peptides that are in this smoothie. So I'm collagen, connective tissue, all of that. But for meats, I go to Texas barbecue classic places.
Beautiful.
It's like $50 a pound.
Hey, tell us about the nasal peptides, because you talked about it on the last show. I tried to order it right after it was sold out, but I believe it's back in stock because I ordered 2 vials.
Oh yeah. If you go to rangerdeals.com, this is where we have all our affiliate listings. The center one right here, Limitless Peptides. If you click on that and use discount code Ranger, you can save 10% or 15%. They have the peptide called BPC 157.
Yes.
And this is an amazing healing peptide. It's a nasal spray. It's experimental. It's not, it's not approved by the FDA. It's not a drug, nothing like that. Yeah. It's a naturally occurring peptide that your body makes in your digestive tract. Did you know that? It's just at a much higher concentration. And when you use that peptide, it signals your injured tissues to build back a healing blood supply to nourish those tissues. And it's used by sports people in such an amazing fashion to rapidly heal injuries from, ligaments and strains and sprains, all kinds of things, from backs and knees and hips.
Wow.
So I use it, and it has enabled me to dramatically increase my exercise now. Because I had a lot of martial arts injuries.
Okay.
Unfortunately. I played a little too hard.
Not to mention, you almost got your finger bit off.
No, it wasn't a bite. It was a farm equipment injury.
Oh,
I almost lost the finger.
I thought that you were playing with Rhodey and something happened. Oh,
no, he's been
Rhodey,
cool.
I'm sorry. I've been holding that in my head forever.
Don't blame him. He might take it out of your ass next time you show up here.
I know, man. Peace.
No, it's just my own fault. I wasn't paying attention. It was really silly, but I was able to heal my finger back, to have almost full mobility.
Crazy.
But that's before I knew about BPC 157.
Sure.
I was using lion's mane mushroom.
Yep.
And infrared light and laser light, et cetera, and was able to heal that back, and that was great. But anyway, BPC 157 is great for people. There's one thing, though, I want to say for anybody who's using peptides. Like, a lot of these peptides help your body have a new blood supply, which is a process called angiogenesis.
Okay.
To the affected tissues. Now, I only recommend that for people who are living a clean food lifestyle where you're taking anti-cancer nutrients, because if you're eating processed bacon and beef jerky and you have a lot of sodium nitrite in your system, then your body is growing cancer. And then if you take angiogenesis factors, that can actually create blood supply to cancer tumors, right? So I'm not getting your audio for some reason. We'll wait for it to come back. But I think it's just something weird about the bandwidth. But for those of you watching, if you don't have a clean diet, don't use growth-enhancing peptides. I'm serious about that advice. If you're a typical American consumer and you're eating a bunch of cancer-causing foods, don't use peptides. Clean up your diet first. Have anti-cancer nutrients in your diet. There are many, many, many of them. You can use our AI engine to do the research on that if you want. It's at brighteon.ai. But make sure you have an anti-cancer lifestyle. And then at that point, don't be afraid. I wouldn't be afraid of, growth hormone factors or anything.
Yeah, right.
As long as I have a strong anti-cancer diet.
Okay. That's great advice.
Yeah. You got it. Because signaling and hormones, you do need to know what you're doing. I always encourage people work with a naturopath also. I'm not your doctor. Don't take this as medical advice. But You should be leading an anti-cancer lifestyle anyway,
Right.
as far as I'm concerned.
You're right.
Yeah. It's not that hard, just have some turmeric and have some, garlic and have some fresh oranges and some celery and practically all the fresh fruit and vegetables and root vegetables are anti-cancer in one way or another.
Yeah, it's almost why you wonder why we don't in general.
Yeah,
right? I'm
I know.
talking about it in general. It's like, because all of that does taste really good. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, and you know what my favorite thing is for this? It's actually, and we may actually roll out a product with this, but it's muscadine grape powder.
Interesting.
So here in Texas, like on my ranch, there are all kinds of muscadine grapes. And muscadine grapes have crazy high levels of natural resveratrol compared to any other type of grape. But they're also very, very sour. They have a lot of acid in the outer skin.
Okay.
But man, talk about nutrition. It's just, and the bugs don't eat them because they're so acidic. So you don't even need any pesticides or herbicide, nothing.
Wow.
So I'll harvest muscadine grapes, but they're so sour, you have to add tons of palm sugar to it.
Okay.
But you can buy a muscadine grape powder, which again, we may roll out a product with this.
That would be cool.
Oh, totally. But I take this powder and I put it into my smoothies. It's in this smoothie here today.
Okay.
And then I'm getting a potent anti-cancer boost from the muscadine grapes and the grape. It's the grape seeds and skins and to some extent leaves and stems that are the most potent part of the grape. Did you know that?
I did not.
Yeah, like winemakers that they use grapes to make red wine and then they throw away the grape pomace, as it's called.
Yep.
That's where the most nutrition is.
Wow.
They throw that away.
It's
Or
crazy.
they feed it to their hogs or whatever,
Yeah.
But and the hogs become like super Hulk hogs, They're like we're eating tons of resveratrol, and you're just getting drunk on wine.
Better cancer-free, and those are the hogs I want to eat.
It's the cancer-free hogs. Yeah, exactly.
It's
That's
my
the secret.
code.
So anyway, look, it's an amazing universe. God has placed anti-cancer solutions all over the place. You just have to know what they are. If you want to find out, just go to brighteon.ai. Let me bring it up. It's a free AI engine. It's called Enoch.
I use it every day.
Thank you. I do too. And you can ask it anything, but you can ask it like, what are the best anti-cancer foods I can buy at the grocery store? Boom, you're going to get a kick-ass answer. It'll tell you. So use it for research. It's great.
Yeah, everybody out there, just go in and type in, just for your first try, how do you break up with an NPC? I'm just
break up with an NPC.
Yeah, you know how you have like I was talking to a guy who got married pre-2020 and did not know his wife was an absolute NPC when when COVID hit. She was a first in line. They got in a really bad marital battle over the vaccines with their kids.
I would imagine.
And he was saying, man, if I knew now that she was such an NPC, I would have. So that's what made me think, how do you break up with an NPC? But anyway, sorry, guys, I derailed this again.
It's okay. No NPC for me. That's your bumper sticker.
We traffic in decentralization enthusiasm, one way or the other.
Hey, last thought before we close out the show. Have you noticed how much more frequently you hear the term decentralization now?
Right.
Isn't that wild? Since we started this show?
It is popping up everywhere.
It is.
Yeah. I don't know if that has anything to do with us or not, but
I don't know.
I observe it more.
Well, when we named the show 2 years ago, it felt like it was the right word to use, but it wasn't actually that well known. I think we even had a conversation about it.
Yes.
Like people weren't really using that in the common vernacular,
Yeah. They weren't, but they are now. It's kind of like when you buy a specific car, a color of a car, then all of a sudden you start noticing all of these other cars around that look just like yours.
Oh, you think this is just a noticing issue?
I don't know.
I don't know either.
But I see it all the time now. But you know what, Mike? It's our movie. Let's take credit. It's because of us.
Yeah, okay. It's all us. Okay.
It's all us. It's always all us, guys.
Anyway, it was the right name for the show, and it's taking off more now than ever before.
I know.
It's like the timing is just perfect for the message of mass decentralization.
And if anybody did not watch Catherine Austin Fitts, that episode of ours,
Oh yeah.
you must, so that you can become educated about stable dollars, etc.
Stable coins.
They're stable coins. I'm sorry.
I asked my staff to create the highlights of just all the best parts of what Catherine Austin Fitts said on our show. So they created all the highlights, and they sent me back the compiled highlight video. 37 minutes, man. I was like, so basically, almost everything she said was a highlight.
Exactly. Well, that's her.
I know. Her signal to noise ratio is very high.
Yes.
So the highlights video, 37 minutes, I was just...
And that was just your team taking you and me out of the interview.
Yeah, pretty much. Which we could do that on any given interview. It'd probably improve it, you know. We should just launch this whole thing. Matt Kim as Matt Kim.
Yeah.
Nobody else.
And
it's all good.
Matt Kim and two dudes.
We should just introduce our guest and then just go eat barbecue. You know, something.
Just say, hey, Matt Kim.
It's all yours.
Welcome to the show.
You don't need us.
5 minutes.
Yeah, you don't need us at all. And just put like a printout of a piece of cardboard that's got a printed image of me in front of the microphone. Just
exactly. No, DTV man.
Yeah, he's still here.
Yeah, DTV man.
I've got DTV man over there. I just don't dare move him because every time I do, my dog attacks him.
Yeah, don't do it. We love DTV man.
He's still got both arms. That's saying something.
Mike, we did it. We did it again. Another one down.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you, Todd. It's been another great show. Always have fun. And now we have more guests to interview from the same company. So we'll get them on for upcoming episodes.
Absolutely. Yeah, your producer team is just doing a bang-up job getting amazing guests. Thank you.
Yeah. Thanks. They do a good job. We've got some great guests coming on. All right. Well, thank all of you for watching here today. There's been another episode of Decentralized TV. You can check out all the other episodes that you may have missed, which are equally as interesting, at decentralized.tv, and check them out, support us, and thank you for all that you do out there to help spread the message of human liberty and freedom. And take care, everybody. Thanks, Todd. It was tons of fun.
Cheers. Thanks, Mike. See you next week.
All right. We'll see you.
All right. Bye-bye.
All right. Stay white, and I'll keep getting tan.
Stay white. Stay white, Todd.
Stay white, Todd. I'm going to get darker and darker until I no longer qualify as a white boy. But you stay white.
Oh, God. Stay white, Todd. Oh, what a close.
Okay. Goodbye, everybody.
All right.
Have a great time.
Bye-bye.
When you're ready for the cleanest, most nutrient-dense foods and superfoods and nutritional supplements, personal care products, do yourself a favor, do your health a favor, and shop with us at healthrangerstore.com. We have our own mass spec laboratory where we do our own in-house testing for heavy metals, for glyphosate, for bacteria, yeast and mold, and E. coli and salmonella, and so much more. We do more extensive testing for the cleanliness and the authenticity of foods than any other company that I've ever heard of. And you can get all of this right now, the cleanest, most nutrient-dense foods at healthrangerstore.com, plus all these amazing categories. We've got personal care solutions for you, from toothpaste and shampoo and body soap to preparedness items such as freeze-dried fruits and superfoods in number 10 cans that are sealed and good for very long-term shelf-stable storage. We've got home care products such as cleaning concentrates and laundry detergents, automatic dishwasher detergent, and so on. And of course, we never use fragrance chemicals. We never use artificial dyes. We never use fillers or garbage or anything like that. Nearly everything that we sell is certified organic and non-GMO. And even our vitamin C is non-China vitamin C, non-GMO vitamin C. So shop with us. You'll be glad you did. And we have freeze-dried tart cherries available right now in number 10 cans and in pouches. And those are delicious. You can eat them like snacks. You'll love those. So check it all out at healthrangerstore.com. And thank you for supporting us. I'm Mike Adams, the Health Ranger. Take care.